Finding untapped niches on Etsy can feel impossible. And while trend lists and videos like my own Etsy trend reports can help, obviously it's better to understand how to do this research for yourself. I mean, think about it. If I make a video about the top trending items on Etsy with low competition, thousands of people will see it. And thousands of people will then run to list those items. Then boom, competition is high. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how I tap into these secret niches when doing my own research for my trend videos. That way, you can find sweet spots within your own industry. For those who are new here, my name is Starla Moore, founder of the Handmade Alpha Academy for Etsy sellers and manager at erank.com, Etsy's most popular SEO tool. And as an SEO strategist, it's my job to understand what's popular on Etsy, as well as how to discover those popular categories. Which is great for making videos like this one, where I uncover Etsy products with high searches and low competition. And let me be totally transparent, videos like this take a ton of time, and eRank usually isn't my starting point. There is a lot of hard work and research that goes into finding sweet spots on a platform as saturated as Etsy. But as long as you're willing to put in the time and the work, it is possible. So let's deep dive into my personal research strategy. Before touching eRank, I like to reflect on popular themes and products that I've noticed out in the wild as a consumer. Developing this level of awareness is a skill that most consumers don't have, and it takes active practice in order to master it. But there's no time like the present. So while shopping in stores and online, begin thinking about the common colors, themes, animals, and topics that you see. When watching Reels and TikToks, what cute animals do you commonly notice? What aesthetics do you see? For example, I've been noticing themes like mushrooms, moss, and capybaras everywhere over the last year, both online as well as in major retail stores such as Hot Topic, Target, and even craft stores like Joann's. And these are also the themes that I've seen trending on social media. Anytime you begin to notice something repeatedly popping up while shopping or even while scrolling on social media, take note of it. There's a good chance that these themes will be the next hot trendy item on Etsy, which is exactly the case for moss, mushrooms, and capybaras. Keep a notepad in your bag while shopping, or create a list on your phone where you can save these ideas for later research. The more that you practice trend awareness while shopping and spending time online, the easier it will become over time. After you have a list of ideas and themes, head over to erank.com. This is where we're going to start our research. And while eRank is primarily an Etsy tool, we also have data for tons of other marketplaces, as well as Pinterest, which can help you to compare trending themes no matter where you sell. Let's start by entering a broad phrase, like moss, into the keyword tool. I've been seeing moss everywhere in stores and in room decor videos on social media. Rather than searching for a specific moss-related product, we're starting broad because eRank will show us all items related to moss that are currently being shopped for on Etsy. Now, obviously, with such a broad term, we're going to see very high competition, but this isn't where we want to focus our energy. Instead, let's scroll down to these keyword ideas. From here, we can see estimated search volumes as well as the competition levels to expect for products containing the word moss. But here's the real magic that will allow us to narrow down on products with low competition. We're going to click on these filter boxes, then select Include Keywords, and type the word moss. Then click Apply. Once the page refreshes, head over to the competition column and click the down arrow twice. Now you'll see keywords with the lowest competition levels first, starting with those that have unknown competition, which typically just means that there are so few competitors that we aren't even able to estimate a competition level. Now, what we want to do is scroll through this list and start taking note of the terms that have search volumes that either outrank the competition or that have a close ratio of competitors to searches. And if you want to make this faster, I recommend creating a keyword list where you can save these terms. That way you can analyze them later. To add a term to your list, click the star icon next to the keyword, such as this term, moss bath mat, which has 417 average monthly searches. with only 126 competitors. With a click-through rate of 101%, this tells me that ranking for this term and making sales will be extremely easy. And obviously, the more searches, the better. But when it comes to these low competition micro niches, it's often easier to succeed with lower searches as long as the competition is also low and the clicks and click-through rates are high. Basically, this data tells us that though there are less people searching for these items, all of the people searching have intent to buy. Think of it like dropping your fishing line into a bucket of thousands of fish, but none of the fish are hungry, versus dropping your line into a bucket of a few hundred fish, but all of the fish in that bucket are starving. Your odds of actually catching a fish increase exponentially within these buckets due to purchase intent. Now, while this strategy does work, it's important to note that even broad phrases can lead to lackluster results. For example, broad phrases related to specific products, like shirt, likely won't result in results like you've seen today, simply because product-centric terms are the most commonly used on Etsy. However, if we narrow down on categories that are trendy overall on Etsy, like capybaras, for example, it becomes easier to narrow down on trends related to these themes that also fit into your industry, like shirts. In this case, capybara shirts have a decent level of searches and relatively low competition, making the term a great target for those in this industry, especially since capybaras have been increasingly popular with young buyers on websites like Amazon and Hot Topic, as well as a common trending topic on short-form platforms like TikTok. Again, it's all about observing the themes that you naturally notice emerging around you and using them to springboard your research. Performing trend analysis can take a lot of time and practice, and while I make it look easy here on YouTube, what you're not seeing are the hours of research that I've edited out in order to find great examples to present. But that's the thing about business. The most profitable steps are seldom the ones that are quick and easy, because obviously, if it was easy, everyone would do it, and then competition would be high overnight. So don't be afraid to test, experiment, compare, and try new things. The more that you practice conscious awareness of trending themes, the easier that product research becomes, especially if you incorporate occasional research into your day-to-day workflow. Until next time, Pookie.